Work in silence, shock them with your success. Motivational speech, Denzel Washington. The harder you work for something, the greater you'll feel when you achieve it. Anonymous. In a world where everyone wants instant recognition, the true power lies in working quietly. The moments when no one is watching, the hours of sacrifice, and the struggles that go unnoticed, that is where success is born. It's not about the applause or the cheers of others. True greatness is forged in the silence of commitment, discipline, and an unwavering pursuit of your goals. At Stoic in Your Life, we believe that it's not the world's approval that defines us, but our dedication to the grind. So let your results speak for themselves and shock them with your success. 1. Characteristics of unseen work. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Robert Collier. In the pursuit of greatness, there is one truth that few understand at first. The most important work is often the unseen work. It is the quiet, relentless effort that no one notices, the sacrifices made when no one is watching, and the dedication that goes unnoticed. In modern society, we are often conditioned to believe that success must be flashy, that it must be celebrated publicly. But real, lasting achievement doesn't demand recognition. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." The truth is, greatness is built on the foundation of these unseen moments, not the applause of the crowd or the acknowledgement of others. It's easy to look at someone who has made it and think that their success came from a single moment of glory or from being in the spotlight. But the truth is far from this. The work that leads to success often occurs in the shadows. It is the hours spent perfecting a craft, the long nights studying, or the consistent practice when others have long given up. These are the moments that truly matter. The work that doesn't come with glory or praise is the work that separates the average from the extraordinary. It's the quiet, behind-the-scenes efforts that slowly build the foundation for something monumental. Just like a great oak tree, which begins as a small, unnoticed seed in the soil, greatness starts in the dark, nurtured by consistent effort and a steady commitment to growth. The formation of greatness, as the philosopher Seneca once wisely noted, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." It is not born from recognition, but from persistent, humble action over time. Every small effort, every task completed without fanfare, contributes to the end result. While the world may see the success, they are rarely aware of the cost, the sacrifices, and the struggle that brought it into being. This is the essence of work in silence. It is about doing what needs to be done, even when the world isn't paying attention. Today, more than ever, we are bombarded by images of instant success, by influencers and celebrities who seem to have everything handed to them. But this is not the reality for most people, especially those who have achieved greatness in any field. The truth is, most successful people, especially those who have sustained success over time, understand that the path to excellence is a journey, not a destination. It's about the small, seemingly insignificant steps taken each day that compound over time. It's about showing up even when it feels like no one is watching. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get discouraged. We are often made to feel that our worth is tied to the validation we receive from others. However, what we do in life echoes in eternity. As the great philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us, it's not about the applause you receive for your actions, it's about the impact your work leaves behind. Those who achieve true success understand that the road is long and the work is hard. They are driven not by the need for recognition, but by the desire to improve, to grow, and to make an impact. This lesson can be particularly useful for men between the ages of 40 and 70, who are at a stage in life where they may be reflecting on their legacy. The notion that success must be immediate or loudly proclaimed is an illusion. True success is measured in the quiet moments of discipline, the times when you push through the obstacles that life throws at you without seeking validation. It's in the times when you get up and keep going even when it feels like the world doesn't notice or appreciate your efforts. To work in silence means to focus on what you can control, to shut out the noise of distractions, and to stay the course even when the outcome seems distant. The world may not applaud you in the moment, but they will take notice when your results speak for themselves. As Denzel Washington famously said, "You don't have to tell them. Let your success speak for itself." Success is the ultimate form of self-expression. It's about quietly doing the work, staying focused on your goals, and letting your achievements shout louder than any words ever could. So, if you are at a stage in life where you feel like the recognition has passed you by, or that your efforts are going unnoticed, remember this. The foundation you are building today is preparing you for something greater tomorrow. Every day that you continue working despite the lack of applause brings you one step closer to the success you deserve. The modern world often prizes the loudest voices, the flashiest achievements, and the quickest results. But the truly successful men, the ones who have built something substantial, understand that the loudest sound is often silence. It's the quiet, consistent work that leads to real progress. This is the path of the Stoic, doing what must be done regardless of external rewards, focusing only on the actions that lead to excellence. The work in silence is the true test of character. It's about working on your craft, day in and day out, without seeking recognition. It's about staying committed to the process, even when the world is distracted by its own noise. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, said Epictetus, and the same principle applies to success. Success doesn't require attention from the outside world. It requires mastery of the inner world, where the focus remains on steady progress and unwavering discipline. 2. Dreams and the pursuit of goals. In life, everyone has big dreams, whether it's owning a successful business, running a marathon, or creating something that will leave a legacy. But we often find that these dreams seem distant, almost unreachable, as if they exist in a far-off land we'll never be able to step into. But what if I told you that your dreams are closer than you think? The only thing standing between where you are now and where you want to be is the effort you put in every single day. You see, it's not about waiting for the stars to align or the perfect moment to arrive, because that perfect moment will never come. As the famous motivational speaker Les Brown once said, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss it, you will land among the stars." The question you need to ask yourself every day is, what am I willing to do to make my dreams come true? This is the crucial question that separates those who just dream from those who actually achieve. Are you willing to get up early, stay late, and sacrifice your comfort? Are you willing to push through the hard days when nothing seems to be going right? This is the key to transforming your dreams into reality. It's not about waiting for life to hand you success on a silver platter. It's about showing up, working relentlessly, and putting in the effort when it feels like no one is watching. In our modern world, where instant gratification is just a click away, it's easy to believe that success should come quickly. He spent years working in silence, facing failures, and staying disciplined. His success wasn't an accident. It was built on a relentless commitment to his vision. The world didn't know the late nights he spent working on prototypes, the countless setbacks, or the moments when others doubted him. It wasn't the applause or the recognition that fueled him, but the quiet, consistent work. That's the essence of working in silence. You don't need to tell the world what you're doing. You need to show them what you've done. And let me be clear about one thing. There are no shortcuts. You can't skip the hard work or the failures that are inevitable on your journey. The road to success is not a straight line. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But what separates those who succeed from those who give up is perseverance. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every obstacle you face, every failure, is an opportunity for growth. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go according to plan, but real success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it and moving forward. Perseverance is about staying committed to your vision, even when it seems like nothing is working. It's about waking up every day, doing the work, and not expecting immediate results. It's about making a promise to yourself that no matter how hard it gets, you will not quit. Discipline is just as crucial as perseverance in this process. Discipline means sticking to your plan, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results are not immediately visible. Discipline means doing the work even when the world isn't cheering for you. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of life, by the things that seem urgent but are not important. But when you are disciplined, you learn to prioritize what truly matters, the daily actions that will eventually bring your dreams to life. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions are everywhere, discipline is your superpower. Think about the story of Michael Jordan. He was not born the greatest basketball player in the world. He didn't even make his high school varsity team at first, but he showed up every day, practiced relentlessly, and never gave up. He worked when others were resting. He trained harder than anyone else, and that's what made him the best. His success didn't come from talent alone. It came from discipline, perseverance, and an unshakable commitment to his goals. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm too old for this. I've missed my chance. Let me tell you something. It's never too late to start. Look at people like Colonel Sanders, who founded KFC at the age of 65, or Stan Lee, who created the Marvel Universe when he was in his 40s. Age is just a number. It's not about where you start. It's about how committed you are to keep going. The dreams you have are not beyond your reach. The key is consistency. Keep working in silence, stay disciplined, and never lose sight of your vision. If you're willing to put in the work, to face the struggles and setbacks, and to keep moving forward despite the obstacles, success will follow. But it all starts with that question. What are you willing to do to make your dreams come true? Are you ready to answer that question with action? Remember, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, luck, or timing. It's the willingness to keep pushing forward, no matter how difficult the road gets. Your dreams are within reach, but it's up to you to put in the work. The path will not be easy, but every step forward is one step closer to your success. 3. Challenges in the process of growth. You've probably heard it 1,000 times before, but there's truth in it. Success is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. Colin Powell. But what most people don't see is that the path to success isn't glamorous. It isn't filled with applause, shiny accolades, or constant validation. The truth is that greatness is built in silence, in those quiet, unnoticed moments when the world is asleep and everyone else is resting. It's in the early mornings when you rise before the sun and the late nights when the rest of the world has already turned in for the day. Those are the moments that define who you become. Do you have the passion and determination to show up when no one is watching? Are you willing to put in the work when you don't know when your results will come? The sacrifices you make today will shape the life you lead tomorrow, but they will require more than just effort. They will demand your focus, your resilience, and your unwavering commitment to your dreams. In today's, it's easy to get distracted by the noise around us, the distractions, the expectations, the flashy images of success that people seem to post on social media. But here's the thing. None of that is what matters. What truly matters is your ability to tune out the distractions, to sacrifice the comforts and instant gratifications that seem so appealing, and to focus on what really moves you forward. Think about a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone. In the beginning, it doesn't look like much. But over time, with patience, dedication, and an unwavering focus, that same block of stone becomes a masterpiece. Your journey to greatness is just like that sculptor's work. It won't always be easy. and at times it may feel like you're not making any progress. But the true test is, will you keep chiseling even when you can't yet see the form beneath the stone? Greatness is not for the faint of heart. It requires sacrifice. And by sacrifice, I mean focusing on what truly matters and letting go of the distractions that only slow you down. Sometimes that means giving up time with loved ones to work on your goals, sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term success, or stepping away from the easy path because you know the harder one will take you further. It's not always fun, but if you want something truly meaningful, you have to be willing to make those hard choices. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, no man is free who is not master of himself. Sacrifice isn't about denying yourself for the sake of denial. It's about choosing what matters most and committing to it, even when it means saying no to things that feel good in the moment. The sacrifices you make today will pay off tomorrow, but they won't always be obvious right away. Success doesn't come with a countdown or a clear roadmap. It comes from consistency, from choosing the right path, day after day, no matter how difficult the journey might seem. However, let's be honest. Not everyone is willing to make the sacrifices needed to achieve greatness. It's easy to dream big, but the process of growth requires perseverance, and many people are unwilling to do the unseen work. They aren't ready to face the solitude of working alone, the loneliness that comes with building something from the ground up. They're not prepared for the difficulties that lie ahead, the failures, the setbacks, and the moments of doubt that will inevitably come. It's far easier to look at someone's success from the outside and assume it was handed to them than to understand the internal battles they fought to get there. But this is the harsh reality. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of hardship is an opportunity to grow. It is in these moments of difficulty that we are shaped, that we become who we are meant to be. It is in these moments that perseverance is tested and where true growth happens. Think about someone like Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. He wasn't immune to struggles, loneliness, or doubt. But what made him different was his willingness to keep going, his refusal to let the hardships defeat him. When asked about his failures, he simply said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." It was his perseverance, his ability to embrace the challenges in his journey, that ultimately led him to success. And it's the same for you. The world might tell you that success is easy, that it comes quickly, but the reality is that the journey to greatness is filled with challenges, solitude, and setbacks. But if you have the passion, the focus, and the willingness to sacrifice what others won't, you will rise above the rest. Remember, greatness doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from working through the imperfect moments. It's in the quiet, the unseen, and the difficult parts of the journey that you build the foundation for your success. So, take a moment to reflect. What sacrifices are you willing to make? What will you give up to achieve your dreams? The answer will reveal the depth of your commitment to your success. You have everything it takes to become great, but it's up to you to put in the work. Keep moving forward, even when it's hard. Keep working when no one is watching and shock them with your success. 4. People want glory without the struggle. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the allure of instant recognition and praise. Everyone wants the glory, the applause, the status that comes with success. But too few are willing to put in the work that it truly takes to get there. We see it everywhere. People who desire recognition, fame, or financial success, but they expect it to come without the blood, sweat, and tears that real success demands. It's as if they believe that by simply wanting something, they should automatically deserve it. But let me ask you, have you ever really stopped to consider what it takes to achieve true greatness? The reality is, you cannot skip the struggle. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." It's easy to look at someone successful and think they were just lucky, but what you don't see are the years of hard work, sacrifices, and setbacks that built the foundation for their success. Wanting praise without putting in the hard work is a fast track to disappointment, because true greatness is earned, not given. It's not about having everything handed to you. It's about working for it day after day, even when no one is watching. To achieve the extraordinary, you must be willing to do what ordinary people are unwilling to do. You can't take the easy route and expect to end up in a place that most people can only dream of. Achieving something remarkable requires extraordinary effort, sacrifice, and determination. It means pushing through the hard days when the odds seem against you, sticking to your goals when no one believes in your vision, and doing things others won't even attempt because they think it's too difficult. The difference between success and mediocrity lies in the willingness to face discomfort, to step out of your comfort zone, and to keep moving forward when others would quit. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. This quote by Epicurus resonates deeply in this context. Those who are willing to put in the work, who are brave enough to face the challenges, are the ones who create extraordinary lives for themselves. If you want to do something extraordinary, you have to push yourself beyond what feels comfortable, beyond what everyone else is willing to do. It's not about doing things just for the sake of recognition. It's about doing the hard things because they make you stronger, more capable, and more prepared for the next challenge. And what does all of this lead to? True success. But let me be clear. True success isn't defined by how much money you make or how many people know your name. It's not about being in the spotlight, receiving praise, or living a life filled with material possessions. True success is the impact you have on the world and the lives of others. Every step you take, every choice you make, every place you go, are you adding value to the world around you? Are you making a difference, no matter how small, in the lives of others? True greatness is measured by the legacy you leave behind, the difference you make, and the positive change you inspire in others. Think about people like Nelson Mandela or Martin Luther King Jr. They didn't rise to prominence because they sought fame or fortune. They achieved greatness because they were committed to making a positive impact on the world, to fighting for something bigger than themselves. Their focus wasn't on glory or recognition, it was on creating change. You see, in the end, it's not about how many awards you have on your shelf or how many people cheer for you along the way. It's about what you leave behind. What have you contributed to the world? What change have you sparked? Success in its purest form is not about personal gain. It's about the value you bring to others. And that value is built on the daily, often unseen work, the sacrifices you make, and the impact you have, long after the applause fades away. So, I ask you, what kind of impact do you want to have? What are you willing to sacrifice to achieve greatness? Are you willing to do what others are unwilling to do? It won't always be easy, and the world might not recognize your efforts right away. But if you stay true to your vision, if you put in the work even when it feels thankless, you will build something that lasts far beyond temporary fame or fleeting recognition. The question is not whether you will face challenges, it's whether you will embrace them, learn from them, and keep going, even when the going gets tough. True success is not about being seen or praised by others. It's about the quiet, consistent effort that leads to the kind of greatness that lasts. So stop chasing fame and start chasing impact. When you focus on leaving a positive mark on the world, the success and recognition will come naturally as a result of your hard work. What? 5. The benefits of silence and solitude in the process of growth. In a world that thrives on noise, constant chatter, social media updates, and the pressure to always be busy, it's easy to forget the power of silence. But let me tell you, silence is where true transformation begins. It's not in the noise of the crowd or the applause of others that you find your strength. It's in those quiet moments when you face yourself. You see, growth doesn't happen when you're distracted by external influences. It happens when you turn inward, when you embrace solitude, and when you take the time to refine your skills in the stillness. Think about the greats, whether it's in sports, business, or art. They didn't rise to the top by seeking validation. They spent hours in silence, perfecting their craft, working on their weaknesses, and becoming the person they needed to be before the world ever took notice. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." True wealth, true transformation, isn't about external success. It's about internal growth, about refining yourself in the quiet when no one is looking. Now let's talk about action. There's a difference between talking about your goals and actually working toward them. It's easy to tell people what you're going to do, to share your dreams, but dreams without action are nothing more than empty words. It's not enough to just speak about your plans. You need to put in the work day in and day out. Think of the story of Steve Jobs. Before Apple became the powerhouse it is today, he was in a garage alone with only a few people who believed in him. He didn't wait for the world to catch up with his vision. He didn't need validation to know that he was working towards something great. He simply worked, relentlessly. No one knew the sleepless nights, the struggles, the isolation that came with building a tech empire. But that's the power of silence. It allows you to work without distraction, to focus without interruption, and to push through the moments of doubt that arise when you're creating something meaningful. And then there's solitude. It's in those quiet, solitary moments that you truly discover who you are. You confront your doubts, your fears, your anxieties. It's easy to ignore them when you're surrounded by noise, but in silence, they come to the surface. It's in those moments of solitude that you're forced to deal with the things you've been avoiding. The doubts about whether you're good enough, the fear of failure, the worries about what others might think. But here's the truth. Those moments of discomfort are where growth happens. Without facing your fears and your doubts, you will never push past them. Silence is where you confront the parts of yourself that need to change. It's where you begin to challenge your limitations and move beyond what you thought was possible. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The very obstacles you face in solitude, the doubts, the fears, the insecurities, are the things that will push you to grow. You don't grow in comfort, you grow in adversity. You don't grow by ignoring your doubts, you grow by confronting them head on. In life, we often run from silence. We fill our days with noise, whether it's the constant barrage of notifications, the chatter of social media, or the endless meetings and commitments. But what we fail to realize is that silence is where the magic happens. It's where you become the best version of yourself. If you want to succeed in anything, whether it's personal growth, business, or relationships, you have to carve out time for silence. It's in those quiet moments that you can reflect, refine, and improve. It's in solitude that you can assess where you are and where you need to go. Silence gives you the space to think, to grow, and to act with purpose. True success doesn't come from constantly chasing approval. It comes from the silent work that happens behind the scenes. So, if you want to build something that lasts, if you want to transform your life and become the person you were meant to be, you need to embrace silence. Work in silence. Grow in silence. Let your actions speak louder than words. And remember, true greatness is not achieved by shouting about your dreams. It's achieved by quietly working on them, day in and day out, until one day, your success speaks for itself. So here's your lesson. Don't fear silence. Don't shy away from solitude. Embrace it. It's the place where transformation happens, where your deepest thoughts and most powerful actions come to life. It's in silence that you'll find the strength to push through adversity and the clarity to see your true potential. When you start working in silence, that's when you'll shock the world with your success. You don't need the applause to know you're on the right path. The success you seek is already in the quiet, waiting for you to claim it. 6. Distractions from social media and modern life. In today's, we are constantly surrounded by distractions, but the biggest one, especially for those striving for success, is social media. Now let me be clear, social media itself is not the enemy. It's a tool just like any other, and when used properly, it can bring you closer to your goals, help you connect with like-minded people, and even open up new opportunities. However, the problem lies not in the platform itself, but in how we use it. Social media, when misused, can steal your focus and derail your progress without you even realizing it. It's easy to get caught up in the scroll, distracted by endless posts, likes, and comments, but in doing so, you risk losing sight of the bigger picture. The time you spend online could be better invested in your own development, your goals, and your passions. Have you ever caught yourself mindlessly scrolling, only to look up hours later and wonder where that time went? That time, that energy, could have been channeled into something productive, something that would bring you closer to the success you're aiming for. One of the most damaging effects of social media is the comparison trap. It's a trap that many of us fall into without even thinking twice. You see someone post a picture of their success, their vacation, or their perfect life, and suddenly, you feel inadequate, like you're falling behind. You start questioning your own progress, doubting your worth, and feeling like you're not measuring up. But here's the truth. Social media is often a highlight reel. People share their successes, but rarely their struggles, their failures, or the work behind the scenes. What you see on your feed is only a small part of the story. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." True success comes from focusing on your own journey, not someone else's. When you constantly compare yourself to others, you only create unnecessary obstacles for yourself. You're not seeing the whole picture. You're comparing your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. The constant pursuit of validation through likes, comments, and shares can be a major roadblock to your personal growth. When you seek validation from others, you're handing over your power. Your worth becomes tied to how others perceive you, how many people approve of your efforts, and whether or not you fit into the mold they expect. But this external validation is fleeting. It's never enough. The more you seek it, the more you'll need it, and the emptier you'll feel. Instead, real success comes from within. It comes from doing the work, from making progress each day, even when no one is watching. The most successful people in the world didn't get to where they are by seeking approval from others. They got there by staying focused on their own goals, by refusing to let external opinions sway them, and by having the courage to go after what they truly wanted. As the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The real question is, are you ready to take control of your own mind, your own journey, and stop looking to others for permission? Success doesn't come from seeking validation. It comes from staying committed to your own path, from doing the work, even when no one is cheering you on, and from trusting that the right people and opportunities will come when you're ready. The time you spend looking for external validation is time you could spend creating the life you want. The more you invest in yourself and your goals, the more you'll find that the validation you're seeking from others becomes less important. Focus on your own growth, and success will follow. The key is to block out the distractions, especially the ones created by social media, and refocus on what truly matters. Instead of comparing your life to the curated highlight reels of others, focus on building your own story. Create your own success, and let the results speak for themselves. The world doesn't need more people looking for external validation. It needs people who are willing to do the work in silence, who are committed to their own path, and who trust in their ability to succeed. Success isn't about fitting into someone else's mold. It's about defining your own version of success and pursuing it relentlessly. The truth is, the more you stop looking for validation outside of yourself, the more successful and fulfilled you'll become. Social media is not your enemy, but how you use it can be. Choose wisely how you invest your time and energy, and remember that your true success comes from within, not from likes, shares, or the opinions of others. When you embrace that, you'll find a level of peace and accomplishment that no external validation can ever provide. 7. Mastering life and career. Taking control of your life and career starts with understanding one simple truth. No one else is going to live your life for you, and no one else can turn your dreams into reality. It's up to you. The world, your friends, and your family might have their own expectations and advice, but at the end of the day, only you hold the power to determine the course of your journey. Success is not something that happens by chance or by waiting for the right moment. It is the result of consistent, deliberate actions you take every day. In this fast-paced world filled with distractions and endless options, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But if you want to achieve something truly meaningful, you must take back control. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This is the foundation of real freedom. When you master yourself and your decisions, you become the author of your own success story. It's not about waiting for the stars to align or hoping that circumstances will suddenly change. It's about stepping into your power, taking ownership of your choices, and doing the hard work necessary to make your dreams a reality. When it comes to true mastery, it's crucial to understand that it's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things, and doing them consistently. In a world that encourages multitasking and spreading yourself thin, it's easy to think that success comes from juggling multiple projects or being everywhere at once. But that's not the case. Mastery comes from focusing on what truly matters and giving it all of your energy and attention. You don't need to be the best at everything. You just need to be exceptional at the one thing that aligns with your true purpose and goals. Mastery is the opposite of this approach. It's about pinpointing that one thing that resonates with you deeply and committing yourself to it fully. When you focus on one goal, you direct all your resources, your time, your energy, your focus, towards that singular objective, which is the path to real progress. As Marcus Aurelius said, "What we do now echoes in eternity." Every action you take, every decision you make, should be aimed at moving you closer to your ultimate goal. There's no room for distractions, no space for scattering your attention. True mastery is about building momentum in one direction, and it's only through this focused effort that you will see the results you're after. The power of focusing on one goal is immense. In our modern world, with its constant barrage of information and endless opportunities, it's easy to become distracted by shiny objects, constantly chasing the next big thing. But true success doesn't come from bouncing around from one goal to another. It comes from making a decision and sticking with it. Success, in its truest form, doesn't come from constantly shifting your attention. It comes from deliberate and strategic action towards one specific goal. This is why focusing on one goal is so powerful. It simplifies the process and eliminates the noise that can drown out your progress. When you focus on one thing, you make a clear path for yourself. You understand the steps you need to take, and you're not distracted by the opinions of others or the temptation to chase every opportunity that comes your way. Life becomes less about balancing 1,000 competing interests and more about making consistent, small improvements towards a single vision. The world will always have distractions. Social media, news, the pressures of everyday life. They're all designed to pull you in different directions. But you have the power to choose what you focus on. And you must decide, are you going to let life pull you in all directions? Or are you going to take control and focus your energy on what really matters? At the end of the day, mastery comes from making a decision, sticking with it, and working relentlessly toward it. As you move forward, remember that success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not about doing everything, but about doing the right thing over and over again with dedication and perseverance. The more you focus on your single goal, the more likely you are to achieve the mastery and success you desire. So, what's your goal? What will you commit to? No matter the obstacles, no matter the distractions. Your future success is waiting for you, but it starts with the decision to focus and take control of your own journey. 8. Facing pressure and changing generations. Pressure is often seen as something to avoid, something that holds us back or pushes us to the edge. But in reality, pressure is one of the most powerful forces for growth. Without pressure, we wouldn't have diamonds, we wouldn't have muscle, and we wouldn't have the resilience to face the toughest challenges. Pressure shapes us, refines us, and molds us into stronger versions of ourselves. It's in the most difficult moments, when everything seems to be going wrong, that we grow the most. This is a fact. When you're under pressure, you're forced to dig deeper, to be more creative, and to persevere when most others would quit. And this is where true success is forged. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." The challenges and pressures you face are not just obstacles. They are opportunities for you to build mental toughness, emotional endurance, and a spirit of perseverance that will carry you through any storm. Now let's talk about the role you play in the lives of those who are coming after you, the next generation. You are more than just an individual working for your own success. You are a role model, a living example of what's possible when you face life's challenges head-on and never give up. Your children, your younger relatives, and even the people in your community are watching you. They're learning from you whether you realize it or not. By persevering in the face of adversity, by staying committed to your goals despite the pressures around you, you're teaching them how to do the same. You are the example that will guide them through their own struggles. This is why your actions matter so much. The way you handle pressure, the way you push through your own challenges, sets a standard for those who look up to you. Are you breaking the cycle of negativity in your family or community, or are you perpetuating it? Are you showing the younger generation that success requires sacrifice, discipline, and hard work? By showing up every day, no matter how tough things get, you're changing your destiny, and theirs. I want you to think about the impact you have on the world around you. What does your legacy look like? Is it one of hard work, resilience, and perseverance? Or is it one of excuses, self-pity, and giving up when things get difficult? When you rise above the pressures, you not only elevate your own life, but you also set a powerful example for the next generation to follow. Your story, your struggle, and your success become the blueprint for others to follow. Don't you want to be the one who changes the game, the one who breaks the cycle and builds a better future? Let me share a story to bring this to life. There's a man I know who grew up in a community where success seemed almost impossible. His family struggled financially, and negativity was a constant presence in their lives. But this man, despite all the odds, chose to do things differently. Every time life put pressure on him, he didn't run away, he leaned into it. He worked tirelessly, even when others doubted him, even when the road ahead seemed impossible. Today, he's a successful business owner, a mentor to others, and most importantly, a role model for his children. He didn't just build a successful career for himself, he broke the cycle of negativity in his family. His children now know that they too can overcome obstacles, that they too can be successful despite their circumstances. This man's story is a perfect example of how pressure, when faced with the right mindset, can lead to growth, not just for you, but for those who come after you. Now think about your own life. Are you embracing the pressure or avoiding it? Do you see obstacles as chances to grow, or do you see them as reasons to quit? The way you face challenges has a lasting impact. When you rise above the pressure, you're not just becoming stronger yourself, you're paving the way for others to do the same. The next generation needs to see that it's possible to break free from the chains of negativity, that they don't have to be bound by their past or their circumstances. You are the one who can show them the way. In the end, the lessons learned under pressure are the ones that shape your character and define your legacy. The struggles you face today are not just preparing you for success. They are preparing you to lead others, to be the example they need to see. The next generation is watching, and it's up to you to show them what's possible. If you're ready to embrace the pressure and turn it into success, drop a comment below. I'm ready to rise above. Let's inspire each other. 9. Embracing failure as part of success. Success is often seen as a single glorious moment, the reward after all the hard work is done. But what if I told you that success isn't just about the victory at the end? What if I told you that the real journey toward success is made up of countless failures, challenges, and setbacks, each one contributing to your growth and eventual triumph? This is something many don't realize. Failure is not your enemy. In fact, failure is an essential part of your success story. It is in failure that you find your true strength and your deepest lessons. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely put it, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. So, the next time you face failure, instead of shrinking back in fear or frustration, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Embrace it as the very thing that will propel you forward. When you start on a new goal, a new venture, or a new dream, you can be sure that obstacles will arise. They always do. Some will seem overwhelming, some will shake your confidence, and some might make you question if you're on the right path. It's at these moments, when things feel like they're falling apart, that you need to look inside and find the strength to push through. The truth is, most people give up when they hit their first major hurdle. They see failure as an endpoint. But those who succeed are the ones who refuse to stay down. They rise every time they fall, no matter how many times it takes. You've heard the stories of great achievers, people like Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. When asked about his many failures, Edison responded, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset you need. Failure doesn't mean you've lost. It simply means you're learning, adapting, and getting closer to the solution. Every time you fail, you are one step closer to success, as long as you keep moving forward. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Think about it. Without failure, you wouldn't know what doesn't work. You wouldn't learn how to improve, refine your methods, or strengthen your character. Each failure teaches you something valuable, and it's in those tough moments when you face adversity that you build resilience. It's when you fail and get back up, stronger than before, that you truly understand the meaning of perseverance. But here's the catch. You must never allow failure to define you. It's not a permanent state, it's temporary. Each setback is just a detour on the road to your final goal. Think of failure as a sharpening tool, not a roadblock. Failure is inevitable. It's a natural part of the journey. But it's also essential. So don't be afraid to fail. The only real failure is in not trying at all. The only real failure is the failure to try. These words should echo in your mind when you're feeling defeated. Every failure is a lesson, and every lesson brings you closer to your ultimate success. So fall down if you must, but rise each time. The more you rise, the stronger you become, and the closer you get to achieving what you were meant to do. In the end, the most successful people aren't those who never failed. They're the ones who failed the most and kept getting back up. And so can you. Failure is not the end of the journey. It's a necessary part of it. Keep pushing, keep learning, keep growing. You're closer to success than you think. 10. The power of consistency in achieving success. Success is often seen as a distant destination, something that's far away and requires one big leap. But in reality, success is built on something much more fundamental and steady: consistency. It's not about waiting for that perfect moment or achieving greatness in an instant. It's about committing to the process day in and day out, and consistently showing up. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wisely said, "What we do now echoes in eternity." Every small action you take today has a ripple effect that will continue long into the future. It's those small, everyday efforts, done consistently, that compound over time and eventually lead to success. This is the power of consistency. It's not about sudden brilliance or breakthroughs, but about the dedication to keep going, even when the results aren't immediately visible. In a world where we're constantly bombarded by distractions, social media, entertainment, and the temptation of instant gratification, it's easy to lose sight of the long-term journey. It's easy to chase after the quick wins, the fast rewards. But true success requires discipline, patience, and a steady focus on the long game. The temptation to seek shortcuts or flashy victories is ever present, but consistency is the antidote to this fleeting mindset. By committing to show up each day, putting in the hard work even when it doesn't seem glamorous or rewarding, you're setting the stage for lasting success. In the story of Michael Jordan, a name synonymous with greatness. But what many people don't realize is that Jordan didn't get to the top because of raw talent alone. It was his relentless work ethic that made him a legend. He didn't wait for a big game to define him. He worked on his skills, day in and day out. Michael Jordan's journey to success wasn't one of overnight fame or instant rewards. It was a slow, steady climb, built on consistency, dedication, and the ability to embrace the grind. His work ethic was what made him great, not one extraordinary game, but years of consistent effort and improvement. Jordan's story reminds us that success isn't about the grand moments. It's about the quiet, consistent effort that no one else sees. And it's this consistency that builds momentum and trust, not only with others but within yourself. The more you commit to your goals and keep showing up, even when it's difficult, the more you'll trust your own abilities. And when you trust yourself, your confidence grows. It's those small victories, the consistent actions, that build momentum and make your goals seem achievable, even when the road is tough. So how do you make consistency a part of your own journey? Start by taking small steps. Choose one goal and take one small action toward it every day. Don't worry about the big picture at first. Focus on doing something, no matter how small, every single day. It might be reading a chapter of a book, practicing a skill for just 10 minutes, or reflecting on your progress. The key isn't to overwhelm yourself, it's to keep showing up. By making consistency a habit, you'll build the foundation for long-term success. As Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Consistency is the bridge between where you are today and the person you want to become. It's not about waiting for a breakthrough or a lucky break. It's about committing to the grind and continuing the work even when you don't see instant results. In time, those small, consistent actions will compound, and success will quietly unfold before you as long as you stay the course. So, take a step today, just one small step, and commit to the process. The results will follow. As we wrap up today's video, remember this. You don't need to flaunt every step of your journey. The world is filled with noise, but it craves action that speaks for itself. Focus on your vision, protect it, and trust that when the time is right, the results will do the talking for you. True greatness isn't about drawing attention to yourself. It's about quietly putting in the work day by day and allowing your actions to reflect your potential. So I challenge you. How can you apply this principle of working in silence in your own life today? What small action will you take, not for the applause, but for the fulfillment of your vision? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're using these principles to shape your path. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to Stoic in Your Life. For more insights on living a life of purpose, discipline, and quiet success. Let's continue this journey of personal growth together.